Angle, triangle similarity. Yeah, let's get it. Happy birthday, by the way. Huh? Maybe? I hope so. I hope you're having a beautiful day. And let's talk about this. We're going to prove these two triangles are similar by angle. So in order to do that, what we got to do is first show that we've got two sets of corresponding angles that are equal. Well, let's go get it. So the first one, if we look at this, and I'm going to just kind of let color kind of tell the story a little bit for us here and find a good marker, is that angle C is equal, or you can maybe just say congruent, to angle T. All right, I'm gonna put a little blue and a square there. So that's the blue angles, those are the same. All right, now we've got angle A is congruent to angle R. Okay, and we put red. So therefore, we know that the two triangles have to be the same by angle. And the reason we can do that is because if you think about it, the triangle has to add to 180. This angle plus that angle has to be 180. And same here. All triangles, it's kind of amazing. They all have to add up to 180. So if you go 41 plus 59, which is 100, right? So that really is that this angle is 80, and this angle is also 80. And that's always true. It doesn't matter like the specific degree that this angle is. As long as these are the same, and as long as these are the same, those have got to be the same. Okay, this is just a specific instance of that. So now what we do is we write what's called a similarity statement. I'm going to put it up on the board. A similarity statement. So what we're going to do is we're going to say triangle ABC. So here we go. Is similar. So this little tilde is a similar operator, right? It means, and I put a little question mark because we're trying to prove that it's true. We're not assuming that it's true yet. To triangle. Now, the first triangle, you can put those three letters in any damn order you want. Don't worry, and no one's going to yell at you. But the second one matters. Like it can't just be a random ordering. So that first angle that you're going to put down has to be the one that corresponds to A. So in this case, I've got to start with R. The similarity statement means something. It's communicating not just that the triangles are similar, it's also communicating which angles are equal. So it's doing more than one thing. So this next one's got to line up with B. It's got to line up with B. So there we got B. So I'm going to go S next and end with T. Now I need a justification. Obviously there's no justification yet, so I'm just going to say by angle. And probably, I think one more justification that would be nice is to just put that those are given in the diagram. All right. Angle, that's it. Now, the reason I have a video just on angle is because it can be the most complicated because you really have to know your angle relationships. Like this would be one way, a kind of more of a straightforward problem. But in other problems, you're going to need to know different angle relationships. And these are the most common ones that I see in these problems. So the most common ones I see is you have to identify when vertical angles are making two angles the same, when they're corresponding angles, if they're opposite interior, and I switch to the angle symbol there, or if they're the same angle, which is what I like to say in my classes, but most teachers are more formal and they want you to write reflexive property, all right? So with that in mind, let's look at an example that's going to force us to look that direction. All right, so let's prove these two triangles are geometrically similar, and we're going to use angle to do it. So we look straight at it. We know we got to find two sets of corresponding angles that are equal. Once we find those two, angle, angle, hug your nearest friend. All right, I was assuming they want a hug, but hug your nearest friend. So I'm going to start with K. I'm going to just switch it to blue. Kind of, again, let color talk to us a little bit. And we know for sure that angle K is congruent to angle E. Now, by the way, if your teacher's a bit more formal, they instead of saying K, they might want you to write angle like GKJ, right? They want to define an angle with 3 points, then just go ahead and do that. If it's obvious like that, I tend to just use the single letter. All right. Okay, so now we only have one angle, but we're trying to use angle, angle. Like at the end of the day, that's what we want. And so this is a situation where you've got to recognize vertical angles. You've got to recognize that these opposite angles are always equal to each other. So that sense over here is that anytime two lines cross, the angles opposite each other are the same. So one little arc means equal, and then these two would also be the same. All right? So here, we're going to need to use vertical angles because we've got this one equal to this one. So let's write it. This time I probably will use 3 letters because it's kind of an intersection there. It's not to me as obvious which angle we're talking about. So I'm going to go E, G, F. Again, the vertex of the angle's in the middle. Over here, I'm going to go J, G, K. All right. That's 2 angles. That means we know, and keep in mind, right, there's no numbers on this one. That's why I like this problem. It doesn't matter what the hell they are. These 2 are the same. Those 2 are the same. That means these 2 have to be the same by definition. And therefore, the triangles are the same shape. Are they the same size? Oh, hell, followed by no. They're different sizes, but they're the same shape. So they're geometrically similar, i.e. a scale factor exists that would map one of the triangles to the size of the other triangle. All right. Let's write a similarity statement. So now I'm going to go triangle. I get to pick any 3 letters I want, any order I want, whichever triangle I want. So I'm going to go with E, G, F. But now, why did I put E congruent symbol? My God. Okay, but now we got to focus in, right? So now this one has to line up. Whatever that first angle I use, and E happens to be blue, right? So we got blue there. G is the red. And then F is the green. So I got to have to go in that same order for this bigger triangle. So let's do it. I'm going to start with the corresponding angle to E, which is K. Then moving on to the corresponding angle for G, which is the G in the other triangle. So it's G. And then we've got, we're going to end with the green. So we're going to be here at J. And by angle, angle. We're almost done, but notice we haven't justified why we've said these 2 angles are congruent. So we want to go back and say that this is given and that these are vertical angles. And maybe even put a therefore, get a little finality to that problem. Hey, that's pretty good, Mr. Miller. Well done. Thank you. I appreciate that. I really do. I've been teaching for many, many years, and I flip pens up, I go like this, and I try to catch it, and I always miss. One day I'm going to get it, and it's going to be on film. All right, let's do one more, because that used vertical angles. I'm going to give you one more that's going to use probably same angle, and we'll get it. All right, let me get that. All right. Sometimes there's a slowness to geometry. Sometimes there's a slowness. Because you got to look at the diagram, right? So here, first of all, hit pause. Try it yourself. Unpause. Okay. You got to see the diagram. The diagram's talking to us. Right now, one of the things it's saying to us is that these 2 lines are parallel. And the second you see parallel lines, you got to think corresponding, maybe opposite interior, maybe same side interior. Like those special angle relationships that result from parallel lines come into these problems quite often, all right? Okay, so let's look at it. We know we're going to try to figure out if these two triangles are similar. Some of you probably said, I don't even see two triangles, Mr. Miller. There's the small one here, and then there's the big one behind it. So they're kind of sandwiched on top of each other, right? So sometimes what I tell students to do in this case is actually rewrite them separate. Like go like this. So you've got K, C, and B. That's the triangle in front. And you can kind of see the big triangle in the back if you just erase that line. All right. Well, we're going to go angle, angle. That's going to be our reasoning. There's no side lengths given at all. So this is definitely an angle approach. And let's just start going with the first one, which is I see a same angle, right? I see this angle is equal to itself. Angle K is in both triangles. So let's just go with angle K equal to angle K. In this case, let's make it blue. And the justification is it's the same angle. That's what I like to say. But your teacher probably wants you to write reflexive property, so just write reflexive property. But it's the same angle. Of course it's the same. It's the same angle. All right, we need one more. So here, what I see is this angle is equal to this angle by corresponding angles. Now, it's also true, these two angles are also equal. They're also corresponding angles. So you could use corresponding angles on C and M or B and L. Doesn't matter, either one. I just picked B and L. So let's write that. Again, up here, it's a little bit of an intersection. So I'm going to use 3 letters, K, B, C. It's fine. I would be fine if a student just said angle B. My personal preference there. This one's angle L, but just so it looks nice and symmetric, I'm going to call it KLM. All right. And so this is the red angle, and it's corresponding. All right. So angle, angle, we're good. Let's just claim the two triangles are similar. Write that similarity statement. And let's go on a hike. Let's go look at some flowers. Let's go call your mom. Tell her you love her, right? Call grandma. Call grandma. Call grandma. All right. So let's see here. Hey, even if they passed away, they're looking down. Just talk upwards. All right, so let's do this. So now I'm going to do a similarity statement. Let's go with K, B, C. Again, that order doesn't matter. The first one could be either triangle, any order of the angles. But now I'm stuck. Now I'm a bit stuck because I started with K. So if I start with K over here, I better also start with K because it's the same angle, right? All right. Then I went with B next. B is the red, right? I'll put the red in there. Okay. So I got to use L. You feel me now? You feel me now? I ended with C, got to end with M. Use my justification. And do something that I do not recommend at home, which is take 3 markers, grab 3 pencils, throw them in the air, turn and catch. Almost. Remember to be silly and always trust your cape. You're a beautiful person. Take care of yourself.